Happy Sunday, home opener for East Carolina lacrosse here at Johnson Stadium. Quinnipiac, its best start since 2011, rolls into town. And on this windy Sunday, we pray for our sins and pray for a great day of college lacrosse. East Carolina in town, back at home for the home opener. And a fresh look here at Johnson Stadium with the former Brown attacker, Gabby Sartori. I'm EvanBudrovich. For Quinnipiac, it's been a balanced offensive attack. For East Carolina, a long road trip. How do these teams find their form before conference?
Like you mentioned before, it's a tale of two teams. Quinnipiac 5-2, ECU 1-4. But we spoke with Coach Dipper. It's all about finding their identity in this game and being competitive. That starts on the defensive end. Quinnipiac, a heavily dominant dodging team. The Delmont sisters and, of course, Kate Bendowski complementing them as well.
Bendowski, an elite attacker, and she's part of a balanced scoring bunch. How does she carry the load for Quinnipiac today?
She's a strong righty dodger off the bat, and she's already got she's actually got 19 goals and 3 assists on the season, 4th in the MAC, and she is just solid off the elbow, strong righty dodger. If you're ECU, you have to stop her off that first step because she will make you pay.
4 hat tricks this year for Bendowski, and East Carolina countering, it's all about, you mentioned the balance. How does Kayla Wilkes, the top scorer, help that squad?
Kayla Wilkes is starting off hot for this offense, and she's already got 15 goals of the season. That's the most that she scored last year before an injury got her out of that season. And she's been an anchor, especially starting on the draw circle, but for this offense, dodging and putting people in a better position to score.
Lindsey Smart, our lead referee, gets us ready to roll. Opening draw of the 2025 home season for East Carolina. And that win is blistering today. We have a violation here on the Pirates. Too many players over the attacking line. So Quinnipiac starts with the first possession.
And you mentioned the wind earlier. You're going to see a lot more carrying and using your feet than moving the ball around, especially on the left side of this field because of how strong that wind is. You'd be surprised at how much weather makes an impact, especially on that small yellow ball out there.
Abby Wise, who's the top assister for this Quinnipiac team. She's second in the country in assists. Does a great job behind the cage operating, but here's an early turnover for the Bobcats.
You mentioned Wise. That's another person to look out for on this Quinnipiac offense. Had 9 points against New Hampshire earlier this season.
5-2 start for Coach Jordan Christopher's club. It's her 9th year here at Quinnipiac and her best start in program history. What a toss out of the cage for the young goalkeeper, Behan. Now the Pirates into the attacking third with Kayla Wilkes. And our first whistle, here's I believe a shooting space opportunity for the Pirates. Yep.
Looks like the slide was a little late there for the Bobcats. And on a shooting space, that's a little too dangerous. Safety precaution, if you will, for that defense.
Wilkes, the Pirate top scorer, maybe a chance to score early in the first minute. Wilkes goes wide and loses the ball, but the Pirates keep it. Now a sprint for Emily Golden to track this down. Nice job saving it, and Emily Stratton scoops it up. Coach Dippler loves Stratton's versatility as an attacking midfielder for this club.
She told us that Stratton's playing her best lacrosse yet, so happy to see that today.
And Gabby, it's worth asking a minute and a half in. You can tell the connection on these passes, difficult with the wind gusting on this end.
Absolutely, and especially for the Pirates, you want to get on those loose balls. If there's going to be a lot of loose balls, which we see already, you got to get on those first.
Kayla Wilkes goes behind the cage. Good turn for Scalfani, who draws a delayed penalty. And now an opportunity for the Pirates to have a man up.
And I like the dodging to begin with coming up on the crease, but passing it quickly to the backside will once again get his shooting space. Obviously, they have a free position right now, but just another way to get this offense rolling.
Leah Bestany, the senior, goes low. Nice save. And that'll come out of the crease, so it's a live ball. Pirates going for it. Bobcats recovering. Somehow ECU grabs that one. Scalfani. Great stick work.
But that save by Shannon Alden, that is no joke. That's a point-blank shot, and she has faced 40 shots and saved 20 against UMass earlier this season, but 89 saves on the season as well. She is solid, and she's only a freshman.
Alden, with those saves, second in the country in saves a game. She's been tested early. And now the Pirates with a bleeding situation will be forced to sub out Leah Bestany, their senior attacker. That's a little Band-Aid and some athletic training help can't fix.
Don't want to get those new white uniforms ruined right away.
Bella Askey will come in for the Pirates. Good point. New uniforms, new home opener for ECU today. Sclafani 1v1. Golden circles the cage. Good mark defending here from Quinnipiac.
And that Quinnipiac crease defense is not giving them the top side at all. And Golden did try an inside roll there. You want to bring her up a little more to get that in there.
That shot goes wide, but the Pirates closest to it. Possession down to 8. Clock ticking. Sclafani's got to go. 3 seconds. And earns a late shooting space. And a yellow card, so a man advantage for the Pirates. But now with 2 seconds on the possession clock, this is a do-or-die moment.
Hey, you got to rush this shot for sure. And I don't think that'll be hard to do.
Caroline Reel with the 1-minute penalty.
She only has pressure on one side, so this should be fairly doable with 2 seconds.
Because if you miss this shot, Quinnipiac can burn the penalty, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Sclafani. They do reset the clock. And the self-start, the Pirates will operate with a man advantage. From a free position standpoint, ECU, they've done well, 55% in their man-up goal opportunities. That was an area Coach Dipper's liked, their power play scoring.
And I like the composure on this offense already. That's also another thing that Coach Dipper emphasized, that her offense used to have this mentality that they have to score on every play instead of taking care of the ball and finding their best look.
Kayla Wilkes could not scoop that up, and then a dangerous stick. There's a foul on the Pirates. But now for Quinnipiac, how do you manage the clock for this next minute?
Right now you got to taxi it as best as you can until that person comes back in to match it up evenly. So the Pirates are going to bring a double team.
Emily Keegan breaks the press. The Quinnipiac offense, 5 different scorers with 10 or more goals. And we noted Bendowski with the 4 hat tricks, but this midfield is really good at spreading the rock.
Especially the sister duo right now, number 20, Mia Delmont. The younger one of the two is the junior, and she's had a solid season, of course, to complement number 21, Ella Grace Delmont.
Yeah, Ella Grace, one of the best shot takers in the MAC. And gets shoves out of bounds. And now a stoppage in play. A delay of game warning on the Pirates. Quick touch for Kendall Lee. Remember, Quinnipiac down a man for the next 30 seconds. Good pass inside, and that shot wide. Nice look for Mary Haig. Unable to clear, though, so Haig gets it right back. Mary behind the cage.
And this Quinnipiac offense, despite being one man down, they're looking at the net. They're not trying to hold it that much. This is only a backer defense, and that's something that Coach Jordan Christopher has trained your team to go up against very well.
Now Emma Miller Ayala anchors the midfield here, making her 8th start. Ayala crosses the front of the cage and scores. What a nice shorthander for Emma Miller Ayala.
That's a beautiful look on the downhill cut. Caught that Pirate defense looking at the ball instead of looking at those cuts. You'll see right here, and the shot placement at bottom right corner. Didn't give Behar a chance to save that one. And that is not easy. You got to catch that and immediately bury it in the cage.
With Wilkes right in her back pocket, too. That's a hard goal for a righty to then go cross-body.
Absolutely.
That's what makes this Quinnipiac start impressive. 5-2, their best season in the MAC so far since 2011. And as a team, 20th in the country in scoring. It's a really good offense through 3 weeks. Second face-off of the match. Look at that win. Just blister the ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Bobcats. do wonder in some of these ground ball pickup moments how you keep your composure with that wind playing a factor.
It's definitely tough, but you have to make a point to bend even more and focus on actually scooping the ball up rather than rushing it and popping it.
Yeah, the fundamentals become so important in a match like this with wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour. We do have some rain expected later in the day. And now Riley Matheson can anchor this attacking unit for the Pirates behind the cage. The penalty clears with the goal, so even up lacrosse. You're under 9 minutes left in this first. Back to Sclafani. That feed a bit high. And Sclafani earning the spot start today for the Pirates. Kayla Wilkes gets some space. Delayed penalty, and that's wide. Now they'll reset.
Wilkes with a great dodge, getting her shoulder down to beat that first layer of defense. That's what you have to do when you're dodging from that elbow, and that's something that Wilkes does very well.
Rachel Chesick, the Winston-Salem native, with a good spin. Nice feed underneath. Open shot, and the Pirates score. Erin Golden on the board for ECU.
What a great find from up top, and Golden finding that little inside space on the crease that she does oh so well, and already beat her defender topside off that cut.
Golden, the top scorer from a year ago. This is important to get her involved early.
Absolutely, keeping her eyes up especially. Golden is the anchor for this offense. She's one of the many, and that is key for an offense that has typically started off slow.
An ECU team that's been all over the country the first 3 weeks, finally at home in match 6, and Erin Golden gets back on the board. A relatively young roster for Coach Dipper, and having that experience in Golden is going to be so important with American play starting this week with new program South Florida coming into town. And there's a turnover forced by Grace McCarthy. Pirates into the attacking third with speed. Leah Bestany, who's second in this conference in assists per game. Running through Sclafani behind the cage today. The junior out of Southlake, Texas. Wilkes now 1v1. And Sclafani couldn't hang on. There's a Pirate turnover. Keep in mind, Sclafani did not play a match last year. Sat out the whole season. Has come in with multiple assists in back-to-back games. It's a big role behind the cage on a windy day like this.
And that just shows the amount of trust that Coach Dipper has in her. Being behind the cage on the offense, you're basically the quarterback in lacrosse standards.
Good clearance here from Quinnipiac. Now in the attacking third. The team that leads the MAC in escaping no clears. Not many caused turnovers for the Bobcats this year. Even in their last loss against Bryant, it was a fourth quarter giveaway. They had the lead in the second half. Abby Wise operates. Finds Bendowski. Top scorer in the MAC. But Kate marked really well by Maeve Kerwin. Kerwin right up in the grill of Bendowski. No space. A quick double. What a slash in front of cage and just wide. Nice look for Miller Ayala. But Quinnipiac keeps it alive. Bendowski shuffles middle. And a delayed whistle. Was that before the shot, though, is the question.
Definitely tough to see back here, but this is exactly what Coach Dipper was talking about. It's one-on-one defense everywhere as well, and a late slide like that is crucial, especially with a shooting space or a dangerous shot on the line. So this could go Quinnipiac's way.
Would that be considered interference then, in a free position shot?
It would be interference. They gave it to her.
Wow, the goal counts. Did the ball bounce through, though, I guess is the question.
I think they're counting that delayed shot. I would be a little frustrated like these fans. I mean, they did blow the whistle before that goal went in.
And that's what Coach Brittany Dipper in year 2 is asking. The former Maryland goalkeeper, elite standout back in her tenure. And she knows better than anybody when it comes to when the whistle blows, but we'll see.
Blew the whistle, ref!
Because there are delayed shooting spaces. That is
And
allowed,
that's what
and you
she's
can
arguing.
continue the shot.
Absolutely.
Yes. But then when the whistle comes in, it gets complicated of what's a dead ball, what's a continuation.
In theory, the ref does have jurisdiction, but I agree with Coach Dipper here. That's something you shouldn't let fly right now. Here's a look again.
We can go score now, too!
Of course, that strong drive from Bendowski, and looks like the stick was caught.
Yes, there's the ball going
Yep.
in, but everyone had basically stopped.
And that's what they counted.
We'll take the timeout. Quinnipiac takes advantage of the delayed goal. A 2-1 start for the Bobcats here early. So here's the call discussed. Keep in mind, when this play is blown dead, and as you hear the whistle blow, half the team's playing, half the team's waiting. There was some confusion there about when the ball was ruled dead.
And as a goalie, you have your head on a swivel for anything that comes at you, except for plays that are dead. And that's something that Coach Dipper definitely taught her goalies after being one herself. So that's the #1 golden rule, and I don't blame anyone for being mad for the confusion from that call.
Out of the timeout, ECU wins the draw control, and the Pirates now offensively with Emily Stratton. A Quinnipiac team that rarely gives up free position shots. It's been a strength of this defense under Coach Jordan Christopher. And Alden's been excellent between the pipes.
And this Quinnipiac defense is so quick off the slides, up top especially. So it's going to be hard for a downhill dodge to work out in the first try today.
Good ground ball pickup by the Quinnipiac defense. That's Kaylin O'Connor, the 3-year starting defender, forcing a turnover.
Kaylin O'Connor already in the season has 6 caused turnovers, so that's someone you don't want to be messing with too much today.
Tanowski, the top goal scorer, goes inside, and that pass dropped. ECU gets a ground ball pickup for Bella Askey, the sophomore midfielder. Now a transition moment for the Pirates. Coach Dipper wanted her team to be more aggressive off turnovers. Chesick inside the 8. Chesick for goal, and a nice transition finish.
Chesick giving the Pirates some life after an unlucky goal against. But what a lefty rip to the top side.
And how about that play on both ends? The turnover leading to the transition goal.
And that's a win for any team in lacrosse. Finishing off the fast break. And no hesitation with this off stick side high. Great pull and the confidence to shoot that as well.
11th goal for Rachel this year. That's second on the club. And after a disappointing offensive performance against UC Davis, this has been a nice start in the first quarter for ECU. Held to just 9 goals in that loss.
I think it does help. Sorry for cutting you off, but we're sitting here. We hear these fans as well firing them up. I think having a home game under your belt finally helps piece some things together.
We'll show you at the next time out. Gilligan's Island be jealous of some of the mileage traveled by ECU in the last 3 weeks. Quinnipiac's his third road match, and look at that gusting wind for this draw control. Trying to wedge a ball between 2 sticks is challenging enough.
It's
then
so tough.
40-mile-an-hour winds make it even more challenging. And a foul on Quinnipiac with the push. So ECU, the self-starting draw control. Kayla Wilkes quickly inside the fan. The Pirate offense, Coach Dipper asked her club this week, we need to execute better in 1v1 moments. There was a good transition goal for Chesick. Here's Wilkes, their top scorer. Wilkes long distance, nice save for Alden.
And I don't mind a shot like that. You have the people behind. Take the shots and get them early and often.
Rachel Golden has it. She scored the first goal for the Pirates. That feed, though, deflected and a better save for Alden that time.
You got to put a fake on your shots because that is something Shannon Alden will not let you get by.
Shannon leads the country in saves per game. She's been so instrumental in this 5-2 start for Quinnipiac. First-year keeper. And a Quinnipiac team that went 2-13 last year. This run's been really impressive for Coach Jordan Christopher, who was a Big East captain herself as a UConn graduate. Now a fresh attack for Kate Bendowski, the junior attacker. Abby Wise throws it in front. Nice look and a one-timer for Mary Haig. Her first goal of the match.
That's a great finish inside, and with crease play, you got to have chemistry. That is something Quinnipiac does have. A quick finish like that, with a lot of precision, will get it for you. Caught the defender up top, was late to her slide, so she had plenty of time to bury that one against Behar.
Yeah, and those crease defenders, there was a little miscommunication there. Haig slipped wide open.
Definitely tough, and especially it's different because the offense can't go in the crease, but the defense can. So it's either you screen the goalie or you slide late.
Mary Haig, who nears 25 career goals, gets her 4th of this young season. And we noted how Wise is so excellent distributing the rock. That assist for Wise is her 50th.
Wow.
She's been fantastic in her Quinnipiac career. Maybe our most pure draw control of the match, and that absolute scrum inside the box, picked up by the Bobcats.
And you mentioned the win before, especially on the draw. Both sides are going to want to pull the ball, so that's why it's going to go straight up in the air. And it's a 50-50 match for anyone.
Then it turns into a true men's scrum
Absolutely.
in the middle of that circle.
Only thing they're missing is that they're not starting on their knees, but they're certainly ending on them with those ground balls, and both sides aggressive, of course.
First ever matchup between the Bobcats and the Pirates. Very physical first quarter. Good double team on the defense, and Wilkes gets the turnover. Wilkes sprints ahead. She's got elite speed in transition. Beats the Quinnipiac defenders into the attacking third. Wilkes with numbers, goes left, and draws the shooting space.
Beautiful execution with the 4-on-3 coming downhill, and that two pass will get you the shooting space every time.
Leah Bestany draws the opportunity, the Bethpage native. Bestany swings it middle. Wilkes inside, navigates through two and scores. Nice finish from the junior out of Pennsylvania.
What great stick control on that shot.
Kayla Wilkes, who shined in her debut this year, 5 goals, gets her second today.
When you look at this, the pull inside, she switched hands 3 times with 3 defenders on her. That is not easy, folks. 2, 3 to get that, and the placement as well. The amount of thought you need to put in every shot inside is so key, and someone like Kayla Wilkes does that perfectly. Get her Pirates tied 3-3.
Coach Dipper's been extremely pleased with Kayla Wilkes' ability to dodge inside the H. He said she's special navigating those moments, and that's a great manipulation of the defense. Her first goal of the match. We're back tied at 3 late in this first quarter. And here's an area where the Pirates would love to improve. Face-off percentages. They struggled in their West Coast swing. And a foul on ECU, a hold, so Quinnipiac wins possession. The speed of Miller Ayala's played a factor today.
For sure, it's made these draws fun to watch.
And the ball's going like 50 feet on these draws because of the blistering winds here in Greenville. A storm is expected to hit this afternoon. Good news once the game ends.
Just missed. Yeah, that would be tough, especially for lacrosse when it's raining. I remember it used to be the worst time to play a game. You're worried about your leathers loosening on your stick because there's a stick check after every goal.
There's a high stick to the head for the Pirates, so Quinnipiac keeps possession. Abby Wise, who leads the MAC in assists, dishes inside. Ayala shielded off. Better defense from Grace Moore. The sophomore defender, part of a young defensive unit. The possession clock actually went blank, so the referees are going to have to reset the clock. Now, in theory, the shot clock would end the quarter, so it's not a make or break moment, but they will have to reset the clock. Maybe that statistician down there can send in a walkie-talkie for some donuts and treats for the broadcast crew today.
And maybe a window. Look at that wind.
So we told you it's a little dicey today from a weather standpoint. Don't be fooled by the 11. It's going to get up to 30-mile-an-hour gusts later today. Yeah, those winds really tell the story. And Gabby, as a lacrosse attacker, you know better than anybody, to pass the ball horizontally gets so difficult.
Especially when you're throwing against the wind. It is brutal.
Here's Quinnipiac throwing against that wind in this first quarter. And a self-start. They got the possession clock all figured out. But a bad pass there, tipped. Okay, so it's going to stay here because of the deflection. And Quinnipiac will keep it. Wise on the drive, goes nutmeg. Nice save. And able to keep that in the crease. The Pirate keeper, Jamie Behar.
That was a great move by Wise, but an even better stop.
Behar protecting her beehive in this first quarter, keeping it tied at 3. Kerwin with time ticking. And that ends the first quarter. Defensive battle here in Greenville, 3-3 through the first 15 minutes. We'll take the timeout. Second quarter action when we come back to Greenville.
We call it drive. The unrelenting desire to become the person you were born to be. Ignited by a moment. The realization that a future you could only dream of is within reach. At East Carolina University, you won't just imagine a path. You'll forge one through hard work and the success that comes without surrender. The journey that leads to your future. And this is where it begins.
There is only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can.
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, and we will. It's what separates us from the rest. There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
We mentioned the home opener for the Pirates. They got their Southwest miles cooking, won a quick trip to Charlotte, but then things really get complicated. Elon, Coastal Carolina, bus mileage, and then the fun flights out to California. Certainly in talking to Coach Dipper, a chance to unify this young group early in their second year.
Absolutely. Then they had fun, too. They went to the San Diego Zoo, and they enjoyed their time. And despite the wins and losses, they definitely had a lot of team bonding out there.
She didn't mention seeing Bubbles the whale at the San Diego Zoo. That's a killer opportunity. But the trip back from California to Greenville, 7,000 miles in the first 3 weeks of the season. I'd love to get those hotel points along the way, too.
I'm shocked they're still standing. I'd be exhausted. I need a good month to rest from all that traveling.
One thing Coach Dipper mentioned about that trip, though, it gave her team a sense of character, a chance to build culture. And for the second-year head coach, she wants to see more of that develop before conference play next week.
And there's a lot of young players on this team, not only that are present on the roster, but actually play a big role on the field. So it's definitely crucial to get all that team bonding and trust, which is something that she repeated a lot to us.
So coming out of this break, Coach Dipper and her staff had a couple of questions for our lead officials. Hey, Rachel, good to see you too, waving on ESPN Plus. I think she was saying hi to her family. But she's saying hi to the ESPN Plus family today. That's how long they've been traveling. 7,000 miles. Rachel hasn't seen her family in weeks. And they just live across the state in Winston-Salem.
Goodness.
She played at Mount Tabor High School. By the way, Mount Tabor High School has an elite football program. Their top prospect, Snook Peterkin's going to play at Virginia Tech next year. But that's a story for another day. Second quarter, early action. East Carolina playing against the wind in the first half. They'll have the wind at their back in the second. And so far, Wilkes, Chesick, and Golden all have goals for ECU. Kayla Wilkes, a little 1v1, top 5 goal scorer in the American Conference. Gets great space and misses wide. ECU closest to it, though.
That's a good take with the rocker step. Caught her on her feet on that back side, so a great dodge from Wilkes.
Playing a lot through Sclafani behind the cage today. This is a spot start for her, has a couple of assists off the bench this season. Leah Bestany doubled. Now finds Emily Stratton. Difficult pass, and what a turn. Rachel Chesak with her second goal. That's a difficult finish for the Mount Tabor product.
Great control inside. Similar to Kayla Wilkes' goal inside on the other end. And it's almost like in basketball, trying to get the and one. You're going to get a lot of contact inside on those layups. So it's really crucial to finish, and what a goal from Chesak here. Of course, threading the needle.
And that's good defending from Kennedy. Now that's good marking right there.
That's great defending. This team crashes immediately inside the 8.
And Coach Dipper said we have to win more one-on-one moments inside the box. And here's a good finish in the 8. That was a missing piece in their road trip to California. One lost by just 1 goal, the other by 8. And Coach Dipper said there were a lot of missed opportunities on tape. We wanted to clean up back at home this week. A hold on Quinnipiac, and ECU wins the draw. And now some contact and a loose scrum. Opportunity. Top goal scorer. Not able to make most of that, though. Bendowski resets. Those 2v2s, you got to be decisive if you want to score in transition.
And you got to be quick with your decision making. If you hesitate, it's an automatic reset in the offense.
Bendowski gets it back for the Bobcats, working through Abby Wise. This matchup of Wise and Kerwin will be so important today.
One thing that's an advantage on Quinnipiac's end is Wise can use her left strong, and that's what makes her very versatile in that crease role.
Bendowski spins in front, shoots high. And now a ground ball opportunity picked up by the Pirates. Illegal stick touch. That was an area that Coach Dipper was really talking about. 1v1 defending. She needed to see a better improvement, better communication. That's a good start from her Pirates.
You've seen a lot of fast footwork, especially a lot of fast slides as well from this Pirate defense, which is something that if you're Coach Dipper, you're happy.
ECU back to Stratton. 1v1 scores. The senior on the board. And the 4th goal scorer for ECU. Well, there's the defensive communication leading to a second transition goal.
And I mentioned before, going against Shannon Alden, you need a fake, you need a hitch. That's exactly what Stratton did here to bury the shot. Hitch to the opposite stick side high to bury it to her left.
So Stratton with her 7th goal of the year. Largest lead now for the Pirates. And that's the challenge for 9th-year head coach Jordan Christopher here at Quinnipiac. Her best start with the Bobcats in a loaded MAC conference. QP picked in the bottom third of the league coming in.
2 years ago, Christopher actually helped lead the MAC in scoring per game.
A former assistant at Central Connecticut State. And this start's been impressive for many reasons, but battling a top 25 team in Yale, beating a good Monmouth team out of the CA, there's some positive signs entering MAC play.
And when you're Quinnipiac, especially since Christopher has been on this roster, these non-conference schedules are no joke with all these New England teams that they're surrounded by. Yale, even us at Brown, we play Quinnipiac a lot, and they're always trying to challenge themselves off-season a ton. And going into the MAC play, they're ready.
Jordan does return her top assister, but loses draw control threat. Amy Nikoloff, who's graduated. Lauren Kennedy, top goal scorers, graduated. So a younger team from an offensive standpoint. And you've been a player. Anytime you go from a 2-win season to 5-2, there's a lot of things clicking in the offseason.
And that's something we've mentioned before, not only the spread out offensive scoring, but the offseason, like you mentioned, this team works hard, and it all comes into fruition when you're playing teams like Yale and keeping it close and being competitive. So a 5-3 game against ECU, you're scratching your head a bit. A
draw control win for the Bobcats. who now shoot with the wind in their favor in this second quarter. Good entry into the attacking third for Kaylin O'Connor. Risky pass. A chance for a ground ball scoop, and Menninger comes up with it.
And I love the active defense on these rides. And that's something that if you're the Pirates, you want to continue to do, because that takes off a lot of time on the clock, the shot clock.
Caroline Menninger, one of 5 siblings. Her dad, Glenn, was a goalkeeper at Penn on the soccer side, but she's been a great addition to this ECU defense. As Macy Moore brings it into the Pirate attacking front. 4 different goal scorers for Coach Dipper's team in this first half. Stratton goes 1v1. Feeds Wilkes, the dangerous threat. What a spin! Wilkes goes left side and beats the goalie top shelf.
Wilkes is just so fun to watch starting up top the 8. As far as her one-on-ones have gone, I think she's beaten every single one. And in this one, she sees that the defense is a little heavy on the top side, so a spin move inside to bury that shot. It's perfect for this goal right here. And the fake low really got Shannon Alden. She's a very jumpy goalie. That is something that's going to get you in the net.
2 goals for Wilkes, 1 away from her 5th hat trick of the year. And you're right, Quinnipiac right now, no answers for the 1v1 dodging of Wilkes.
And Wilkes has the hot stick right now, 10th goal of the season. I would keep feeding her the ball. I'd keep telling her to dodge. And now you're going to see a Quinnipiac defense crash down on her once she gets that first step.
An illegal trap on the Pirates, so Quinnipiac wins the control. Oh, a lot of contact and an offensive foul. Let's hope everyone's okay. Oh, you don't say.
I hate to laugh, but that was kind of funny.
I think Aaron's okay for the Pirates, but now for Quinnipiac, we'll certainly check on Kaylin O'Connor, who drew a lot of that contact. Checking on Kaylin, who initiated a lot of that contact, checking her head and neck region. And we'll take one look at this collision, which does result in an offensive foul.
We mentioned before, because of the wind, you're going to want to carry a lot, but a little too much, and it looks like whip on the ground in the back of her head caught her a bit. And that'll be a tough loss if O'Connor can't get back into this game.
And the Maryland alum, the national champ, Brittany Dipper, in year 2 here at ECU. She won 4 straight ACC titles as a player at Maryland, an elite national goalkeeper in 2011. And her staff, great experience at UVA and Boston, working under Julie Myers and what Virginia's done recently. This is a unique opportunity now in year 2 to reset the program entering conference play.
And I love how you said reset, because that's something that Coach Dipper told both of us, that she's trying to build something here. She's not looking at the numbers, looking at the beginning of the season right now. She's looking at the future.
We'll certainly check on Kaylin O'Connor after that collision, and then the slightly entertaining moment at the end of that collision. ECU into its offensive set. They've scored 4 the last 5. Askey goes behind the cage. Sclafani middle. Great one-timer. Back-to-back goals for the Pirates. Riley Matheson on the board.
Things are clicking for this Pirate offense. And it starts with the dodge up top. The change of the side that you're on right here forces the defense to shift. And one step too late will open up that inside look.
How has the cutting and ball movement affected this Quinnipiac defense?
The backside from the Pirates, what I've noticed is they're already moving. They're anticipating it. And the Quinnipiac defense is not quite reading into that yet. They're doing a good job up top, but on the backside in the crease and utilizing that, that's what makes it tricky. And when we spoke with Coach Dipper, that's something that she mentioned, especially with Bestany, really working on that crease is what opens up the offense.
Largest lead for the Pirates here. And that draw was really decisive. Here comes a scrum for control. And a foul on Quinnipiac. With those 30-mile-an-hour gusts, that ball is not sitting still at all on these draw controls. Absolute chaos in this first half. The passing becomes even more difficult on this end of the field, so the Pirates in the second quarter will have to battle the wind. They've actually managed it pretty well so far with Leah Bestany, who goes long distance and scores inside the 8. What a nice wrister.
Making it 8-3 with this rip outside. You gotta have a lot of confidence to shoot that one across your body. And she was putting up a fight on defense right here. One last extension of the arms, but that wasn't enough for Bestany.
Just 12 goals last year for Bestany. She's up to 8. And to beat a goalkeeper who's top 5 in saves in the country, what has ECU done well offensively?
Right now, I think they're catching Alden a little domed up, which when you make those first 3 goals in the game, you got to keep going. And that's a little bit of a freshman mentality as far as in net, but someone as elite as Alden, you want to keep faking and you want to just keep pushing the pressure inside and outside. You got to mix up your shots.
Here's been the story of this game. Who can win these scrummed up draws with an illegal push? ECU gets possession. They're now +1 in draw controls. And here's a green card, which means a 1-minute advantage for the Pirates.
McCarthy has done a great job on the draw, not only setting her teammates up, but also fighting for it and getting position with her body.
And I think with how physical this match has been, it's hard to call any penalties because of the physicality on these draws.
Yeah, I think you got to call it both ways, but Quinnipiac, at least it looks like Quinnipiac is a little too aggressive, but it may be some theatrics on the part of the Pirates.
Good scoop up into the attacking third for Wilkes, who has 2 goals today. So a 1-minute man advantage for ECU. Aaron Golden, this Pirate team, 5 different scores today, wanting a 6th, and that shot wide for Maya Kemke. The referee ruling it's Quinnipiac ball.
Unfortunately, I'm with the ref. You cannot touch the ball in
Out of bounds.
play
Correct.
and then run for it out of bounds. So if she let that go.
Now is the ball already out of bounds, and then you're the closest to the shot?
I don't think
keep
it was.
possession. Okay,
Yes.
some clarification for Lindsey Smart.
But this is interesting that they are giving them the ball.
I think they're ruling that Stratton let the ball roll out
It
and
may
then
have already been out.
wanted
Yep.
to self-start. And Kayla Wilkes here draws the shooting space. That secondary defender, you can't interfere with the path of the shooter. That's where a lot of these calls get picked up at the corners of the 8.
Sometimes it's just wrong place, wrong time. That's why you got to have awareness.
Wilkes dodges. Nice save for Alden, the freshman goalkeeper.
That'll be a much-needed confidence booster for her.
Shannon Alden nearing 100 saves this year. She leads the MAC in that department.
She comes from a great high school program as well, Bayport Blue Point. Actually, our rivals in high school.
Well, see, you buried the lead on that one. We were talking pregame.
Yeah, but she is solid. I've heard her name a time or two from when she was coming up the ranks.
With the former Brown attacker, Gabby Sartori, I'm EvanBudrovich. East Carolina's offense clicking here. 5 straight goals out of the second quarter. Quinnipiac very patient. 5 different goal scorers in double figures this year. But they've been held in check with some early turnovers. Here's a feed in transition. Bouncing shot wide, but the Bobcats closest to it. Good effort by Abby Wise.
What I have noticed throughout this contest, which I have not had a chance to mention, Ella Grace Delmont has been out of this offense for quite a minute. So
what a save. Jamie Behar going post to post.
This Quinnipiac offense is struggling.
Because Peyton Choma had a really good look to the near side. But Behar, nice adjustment. Learning from her All-American coach, Brittany Dipper, who was an ACC standout back in her Maryland tenure, between the pipes. And a quick clearance for ECU. That's been an area the Pirates wanted to improve upon. 88% inner clearances. If you're in the 90 plus, you're one of the better teams in the country. They're showing some good signs today. Stratton nutmegs the keeper. And how about 2 quick goals for the emphatic Emily Stratton?
What a shot and what a stick drop. She chucked that a few feet away.
I think chuck's an understatement. But a nice finish there for the Pirates. Leading to our media timeout. ECU up 6 early in the second quarter. All Pirates, all wind, all nutmegs through a quarter and a half here in Greenville. Welcome back to Greenville. Quinnipiac off to its best start since 2011. And outside of the one loss to nationally ranked Yale, this has been a really good start for Coach Jordan Christopher.
And they're also coming off a loss against Bryant, a 16-13 back and forth game where they had the lead with a few minutes remaining in that second half. So this team is no joke.
As you notice, Coach Christopher chatting with her goalkeeper, Shannon Alden, who's been subbed out. And in comes Lindsay Mizuko into the matchup. And keep in mind as well, one of the top players for Quinnipiac, Ella Grace Delmont, is now in street clothes, which we saw her in the first quarter, but exited after that media timeout. Certainly hope the best for her before conference play for the Bobcats begins. They'll battle Iona next week. Six straight goals, though, for the Pirates, pulling away in this second quarter. Lindsay Mizuko, her second career appearance Welcome to the bright lights of a windy Sunday. Good deflected save early on for her defense helping out. That was Emily Keegan on the stop. The new goalkeeper making the most of her second opportunity. And we have a whistle and a 1-minute penalty on the Pirates. The illegal cross stick, dangerous to the neck area.
I get the green card, I get it, but it's almost like every time it's used, it's in the open field on the ride, and it just slows the game down.
And you could, by rule definition, argue this limits a transition opportunity.
For sure. So in theory, like, if the game was closer and there were seconds in the game, that is a strategic thing to do to slow the team down.
24th appearance for Mizuko between the pipes. She was the starter 2 years ago, and then this year has come off the bench. Good turnover forced by the Pirates, and they're rolling here in this second. Now a ground ball opportunity picked up by Quinnipiac. Mary Haig right there. Works it ahead to Bendowski.
That was a great bat check by Delmont. It's tough for attackers to not give up after turning the ball over, but it definitely helps get possessions back like this one.
The home opener, the Pirate defense has been much better tonight, including a save for Jamie Bihar. It's a good sign for the young Bihar, junior goalkeeper, second year here, after splitting duties with Bryn Knight and stepping up in this full season as the starter.
And of course, having a head coach that used to be a goalie, it's also a plus because she also helps on the mental side of being a goalie is the hardest on the field because you need to have a next ball mentality instead of I need to save this every single time there's a shot because goals are going to go in.
And next week she'll face Paige Pagano at South Florida, who was the AAC goalie of the week. That'll be a fun matchup with a first-year program into town. South Florida's racking up wins, too. They already have 6 wins this year. Here's a little 1v1 for Wilkes. She's been so dangerous on the dodge today. Gets in the 8, has it ripped loose. Nice defense. And Maddie Noel knocked that one out.
That was a great check by Emily Keegan with 4 caused turnovers on the season.
Sclafani wants a cutter. Another good stick check. Who can come out with this scrum? It goes to the Pirates. Possession clock down to 10. Bestiny's got to move it here inside of 10. Nice catch. Better save for the senior who started every game last year, went 1-11. Was subbed out for the true freshman Alden and gets a moment here in her second match.
I think for the Pirates, a couple times there are some stick work errors where they're dragging their stick in front of their face rather than dodging back like you see here. But that's been a crux because that brings a lot of shot clock time off. And then you got to rush shots.
Do you go 2 for 1 here if you're Quinnipiac? Do you work the clock to get it back?
I would try to score. I would try to score it. Don't dig the hole any deeper.
It was 3-3 early in this second quarter. All Pirates since. Good deflection as Bendowski's pass is tipped. It's nice coverage from Magazoo. Emma Magazoo, the veteran defender. 3 years at New Hampshire, comes into the Pirates, making a difference defensively.
And Magazoo is one of the players that Coach Dipper is the most impressed with on defense. Has her head on a swivel and can slide from anywhere inside the 8.
And that shot for Givens, not only is it from distance, but there's no angle creation. That's a nice save for the keeper.
Absolutely.
Everything playing in front of Jamie Bihar today. Now a loose call. An illegal touch on the Pirates. The call overturned. Had a couple of those today.
Sometimes you just shake your head in this sport with the calls because they're like 50-50 calls sometimes.
But to your point, illegal trapping is part of the game. And now with the possession clock reset, Quinnipiac can hold for the last possession.
I know more about lacrosse than you, Brett. What is going on?
A reset for Kendall Lee. Jukes one. Another nice body save for Bihar. How about 6 first-half saves?
Bihar's having a great home opening campaign here.
Jamie entered with a 13 goals against average. This is a fantastic first half. And now the Pirates have a minute to work with in offensive possession.
That was a great move on Quinnipiac's end, but to your point, now you give ECU a chance to extend this lead.
Aaron Golden can reset for this offense, up 6 to close out the half. Chesick goes middle, driving Bestany, draws the double. Chesick with time, rips one high. And ECU closest to it, still time. Stratton dodges one. ECU in this second quarter has taken over offensively. Bestany's shot deflected. And let's see on this loose scrum. Pirates had it for a moment. Wilkes gets it back. 3 seconds. Here's a whirl. Last second goal. Leah Bestany ends the half in double figures.
Talk about a buzzer beater. You can tell they're exhausted. They wasted all the time on that shot clock to get that goal.
Coach Brittany Dipper challenged her team to have better communication this week. Well, what a first half here in Greenville.
And Bestany with the spatial awareness on the offensive end. Help thread the needle to get that goal. Pirates up 10-3.
The timing and the closing seconds, a buzzer beater. Nice ending to the first half. East Carolina back at home for the first time in a month, and they're rolling. Halftime coverage on ESPN Plus when we come back. Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. ECU's home opener, and they're rolling. 10-3 lead, balanced scoring for the Pirates. Already 4 with 2 or more goals. And as we kickstart American Athletic play this week, just the home opener, it's a busy stretch for ECU coming up. James Madison preseason favorites, they are rolling. Top 15 team in the country, Vanderbilt, who made a final a year ago. And how about new participants, Charlotte and South Florida? These next 2 league rivals are coming into the conference, and South Florida heads to Greenville here this week.
South Florida is a fun team to watch, too. Obviously built from the ground up, but they're making a name for themselves early.
Already 5 wins for South Florida. They've been dominating opponents in the non-conference. And Matty Epke of JMU, maybe one of the best players in the country, the attacking player of the year in the preseason. That's what's cooking next week. This week, it's been about the Pirates not only scoring, but being efficient offensively.
Absolutely, and that goes to show that these past 3 games on the road has put a fire under them to really execute on the offensive end. And 22 shots, 8 of those from Kayla Wilkes. So what an impressive first half from her.
6 really good saves for Jamie Behar. That's the other part of the story. And that's how ECU up 10-3 in the first handful of minutes. 4 different players with 2+ goals for the Pirates. And we come back, we'll continue halftime coverage here in Greenville.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Travelpiece. It's been a great year for basketball in the American so far, and that being said, we put together some of our top plays of the year. We'll begin in Houston. Rice and Memphis. Owls put up a good fight in this one. Trey Broadnax driving to the basket behind the back to Caden Powell, who slams it down for 2 points. Dunks are always fun. We showed you one. So how about one more? This one's also quite exciting. Which Pirate will it be? Because they all have the ability to do it. CJ Walker ahead of the pack over the defender. The one-handed slam. This was so pretty that we have to watch it again. The Pirates find themselves with another top play in the season-long edition because this one is a buzzer beater. RJ Felton pulls up, time expires. Pirates win. They found the gold. Magic was made down in New Orleans in our next play. Greg Glenn grabs the ball. He'll kick it ahead to Asher Woods. Time running out here as well. Woods, swish! Green Waves celebrate as they should. They win the game. Our number 1 play was a great way for North Texas to welcome in the new year. Time is running out in yet another top play of the year. Atten Wright fully guarded, but he gets it to go. Mean Green beat UAB on their home court. There's still a lot of great basketball yet to be played, so that being said, let's get you back out to some more action.
Welcome back to a winter wonderland here in Greenville. Nothing but wind, rains, and storms rolling around in Greenville. The good news, we have lacrosse on tap. And through this first half, a balanced Pirate offense, 6 different goal scorers, 4 of them with 2 or more. If you're Brittany Dipper, you have to like the balance in the first 30 minutes. We'll dive into some of those highlights from the first half. And Emma Miller-Ayala got the scoring start in a competitive first quarter for Quinnipiac.
And it's tough for these Bobcats right now, losing anchor Ella Grace Delmond on the offensive end. But Miller-Ayala has been trying to make up her own shots with the very scarce offensive possessions that this team has had. And she's been doing a great job to rally the troops.
That one goal was one of 3 in the first quarter for Quinnipiac. They went scoreless, though, thanks to Jamie Behart's great effort between the pipes in the first. And then the Pirates take advantage because Kayla Wilkes and company started cooking in the second.
And how about 22 shots on goal for this Pirate offense? But Kayla Wilkes with 8 of them. And she has been unstoppable from the top of the 8, excuse me. And when she frees up that righty stick, it's unstoppable from there.
Wilkes, Chesick, Bestany, and Stratton have 2. That's good balance for ECU offensively. And okay, we told you the wind's coming. Even the players are embracing the elements in this second half. One of those days where, you know, the old video of hide your kids, hide your wife might play a factor. Protect everything. Get your clipboards, get your staples, your paper clips. Things might be flying here in the next 30 minutes.
And now more than ever, you're going to see a lot of foot traffic carrying the ball, especially in the clear, because that ball will be lost in midair.
With ECU having the wind at their back, how does that change things in this third quarter for both teams?
You got to have more control regardless of what side of the wind you're on, especially if the wind is against you. You're going to want to put more oomph on each pass, but offensively, when the Pirates are going away from the wind's behind them, that's going to involve pushing back on that power in each pass.
I like your scientific term of oomph to bring a little more emphasis on the pass.
If you guys were watching, I put a little shoulder into that.
With the former Brown attacker and Gabby Sartori, I'm EvanBudrovich. Kyle Gaskin's our producer for the home opener here for ECU Lacrosse. And Quinnipiac, its best start in 15 years at 5-2. The club has had a ton of balance, 5 players with 10 or more goals. Today, though, it's the 6 saves of Jamie Behar holding them in check.
Behar, first time back on the home turf for the season. She's had a great first half.
Her defense has limited good looks, and then Behar in one-on-one moments has made 6 good saves. Let's see now if Sophia Cohn in this offense, without one of their top scorers, Ella Grace Delmond, can manufacture offense. There's a good save, and gets it back in the crease for Behar.
That's great instincts by Behar. That's something that is her bread and butter. Low stick shots. She's quick with her feet.
Behar, who has 3 wins in her career, is making a great performance so far. Already nearing a season high in saves. She had 13 of those against San Diego State last week. Good work to ride the line and get into the attacking end for Maeve Kerwin, the freshman defender. That was an area talking to Coach Dipper. She liked Kerwin's ability to clear and get the ball up the field, especially for freshmen. That's so vital at this time of the year.
And she's the only freshman on the starting lineup. So that's big shoes to fill.
Pirates have scored the last 7 goals, and all 7 of those in the second quarter. Here's their first possession of the third. Sclafani goes 1v1, beats her defender, and is fouled. This should lead to a free position.
And for the Pirate offense, I want to see more of that, challenging those crease defenders. You get a lot of production up top, but it's good to get it on both sides.
Because the foul was outside the 8, they reset it behind the fan. And now ECU can reset. We have defenders slipping on this wet, windy day. Behind the back look. Stratton trying to get creative for the hat trick.
If she was a little closer, that bounce would have worked.
And I would have tipped my hat to that, and then my hat would have flown 50 feet down the field. Here's that wind is right in the face of the Quinnipiac defenders. We have a goalkeeper re-entry. Shannon Alden has returned for Quinnipiac. She got subbed out the last 5 minutes of the first half. And now some young, fresh legs. Maggie Kennedy, the sophomore defender, gets into the attacking third, where Kate Banowski can work with it. Bandowski's been the star, 19 goals on the year, but only one shot today.
Bandowski, to your point, has been very quiet. Caroline Menninger is on her with 20 caused turnovers in the season, 35 ground balls. Menninger is no joke, so it will be tough for Bandowski.
ECU switching really well defensively. That shot hits the post. Good look for Mia Delmond, with her sister Ella Grace out since the first quarter. And now the Pirates get a defensive stop. Transition moment. Good creation of space. Chesick goes middle. What a goal on the one-timer for Leah Bestany.
Great
the Pirates
execution.
have total balance, a hat trick for Leah.
The 4-on-3 going down the field. Great execution on that. And they find Bestany yet again. And that's something, again, related to basketball. You got to be in your lane, especially on the fast break. So ECU does a great job of doing this. They even could have passed it once more to Golden on that backside, but Bestany felt confident enough to bury it bottom left.
To have 3 full field transition goals, well, 1, they do the jumping jacks. 2, what does that say about the transition offense of the Pirates?
The composure, for sure. When you're burying fast break opportunities, it's because you have control.
I had never seen jumping jacks as a goal celebration before.
Oh, they do it all. I've seen deadlifting, or bench press, excuse me.
I've seen push-ups, definitely.
Push-ups, for sure.
The creativity for Brittany Dipper's program. Year 2 coming in. And that wind and the physicality is making life really tough for Quinnipiac. Which I understand the mindset. You want the wind in your favor in the fourth quarter, but now as the game unfolds, this is going to be a challenging third quarter.
It's going to be a tough hole to dig out of.
The man marking of Menninger has been impressive. She's the senior veteran anchoring this defense. 56 career starts. For a Pirate team, it had to replace 7 key faces from last year's starting lineup. Now in a transitional period for the second-year head coach, and they're playing their best game of the year so far. Goalkeeper comes out. Bihar gets a stick on that. And that's more of a men's style lacrosse defending. Good work from Bihar.
And to your point about 7 new starters, I think it's credit to Coach Dipper. She made sure that every single one of these players that are starting now got a ton of minutes last year.
An interference is called. So it sets up a free position look. I think that was on the driver, not the passer there. So Kendall Lee gets an opportunity. Lee 1v1 and affected by the defensive stick of the Pirates. It'll stay here. Good turn of the crease and a post save. Wow, what this ECU defense has been able to do, that's fun to watch in the second and third quarters.
Now that Quinnipiac free position, the Pirates jumped right away, and you want to get a shot off in 2 steps. That third step, that's when you're in the red zone. So the Pirates did their part. Unfortunately, Quinnipiac could have had a brand new set of offense from there.
And we asked Brittany Dipper Friday, how's your free position defense going? She said, it's not been good. So to see plays like that, it's fun to watch if you're ECU.
Absolutely.
Maybe a 5th transition goal. This one knocked loose. That's great defending, because Emily Keegan knows this game gives up 2 more goals. You start playing the running clock situation and the wind, that's a tough challenge. Quinnipiac into the attacking third. Bihar in this Pirate defense, 8 saves today.
With an 8-goal deficit, why wouldn't you put it into your best Dodgers' hands? I haven't seen nothing crazy from Budrovich.
No room for Abby Wise, who's been second in the country in assists this year. Really good at distributing. Today, not too many chances. Back to Wise. And there's no space for these cutters for Wise to find. There's Budrovich, and she's shielded off.
And Budrovich, a heavily top-sided Dodger. You see Magazu stepping up, not letting her get ahead of that.
Mia Delmond, who with an illegal stick to the face. And a yellow card, so a 2-minute penalty for ECU.
And sometimes this is when the sport could get a little like soccer. When you hold your head or hold your neck, the ref has to call something. Almost always.
And Delmond's just back of the fan, but she's been really good, 4th in the country in free position. So if you're Quinnipiac, this is a player you want in some 1v1 moments. Although for her team, when you have more saves against you than goals, that makes it real challenging. That pass inside deflected, and the Pirates get a cause turnover. This is where Wilkes has been really special. Like a gazelle, Kayla gets in front, gets whacked from behind, and that might be a 2-minute penalty.
And that's a cross-check right there, but got to give her credit. She turned the ball over, and she sprinted all the way to at least get something on
So
the
that's
stick.
only a 1-minute green card. So technically we're even play for about the next 45 seconds. Let's take a look at this foul again.
You could see there's only so much of a stick you could check. You cannot check the shaft, which is not the head of the stick. You can only check the head, and you can only check it away from the body.
And you disrupt a clear run at goal as well.
Exactly.
Thus the penalty.
It's like a clear path foul, basically.
Even play for the next minute. So if you're the Pirates, you can work this entire shot clock, get a good look. Working it through Leah Bestany. Has Sclafani. That pass is tipped. Good secondary defending. And that gets shoveled back into the attacking end. Yeah, Quinnipiac's player, Abby Wise, crossed the line. You can stay behind the line and play it with your stick, but once your feet go in, and that is also a 1-minute penalty. So really, in essence now, with the clock resetting, ECU will have a man advantage in the next 30 seconds.
Everything is going right for ECU, for the short way of explaining it. But because her body went over the line, they consider the body as offsides, not the stick.
ECU up a player now. They've scored the last 8 goals, a dominant second and third quarters. That wind is gusting, which affects that pass inside the 8. No easy ground ball pickup so far. And it comes out to the Pirates. Erin Golden able to shovel that. She gets pushed, and it's ECU possession. One player has been released from the first penalty, so we're back to even numbers for the moment.
And we've mentioned time and time again the wind. That's going to be a difficult thing to go against, especially passing inside. The Pirates
the wind just knocked that pass down.
Exactly, and the Pirates do have the wind right now, which makes everything so much stronger and tougher to judge inside.
A foul on ECU, so even play continues. Quinnipiac gets a stop. And now throwing into the wind. These cause turnovers. Some have been self-inflicted for the Bobcats today. A team that gears up for MAC action this weekend, this upcoming weekend. And ECU will welcome new American member South Florida. Final 5 minutes of this third quarter. Last Quinnipiac goal was in the closing minutes of the first quarter.
One thing that's making it difficult to play on this Bobcat offense is every time someone is driving inside, the next person is just standing there. And you need to anticipate that slide so you can pump for shooting space. That's why they're not getting any opportunities here.
Yeah, look at all the 1v1 action. ECU easily shifting and adjusting. There's some good off-ball movement. No foul call that leads to a save for Bihar. I don't know if it's just the slick surface.
It might have been. I see there's a little bit of a streak left on the grass.
That's an area between soccer season and lacrosse season that gets worn out throughout the year. And ECU goes out of bounds. Good stop by Quinnipiac.
What's crazy is despite the score, ECU actually has more turnovers. ECU's got 9 and Quinnipiac has 8.
Working through Mia Delmon with her sister unavailable for the rest of this game. And the continuation will count. That's a goal. And Delmon's on the board.
And Mia Delmond is usually a crease player, but because of her sister's absence, she's had to adjust. And a move like that is something she's not comfortable doing, but something she has to do, and buried it right there.
That leads to a media timeout. Quinnipiac's first goal since the opening quarter. Mia Delmon keeping the Bobcats in it late in the third. A busy day of lacrosse here in the American Conference. How about James Madison in the conference opener, shellacking Vanderbilt, one of the favorites in the league. And South Florida, first-year member. It's going to be a tough out in the American this year, taking care of Temple.
I just can't get over that JMU score. Vandy is no joke of a team.
And then the midfielder of the week and Sabrina Martin in Temple lose big to South Florida, who comes here to Greenville coming up. March Madness and lacrosse conference openers. How about a transition strike for the Pirates? A busy day for Rachel Chesick.
We mentioned before, when fast break is cooking, it's because of the composure on offense, and that's something Coach Dipper emphasized profusely to us, the composure on each possession. And if you have the fast break lane, take it. And that's a late slide by Kira Kafal there. But beautiful shot placement.
So Chesick with the hat trick, joining Bestany. And the dance coordination was a little untimed. You could tell the girls were like, okay, if you get a hat trick, what are you going to do next? And I don't know if they were on the same page.
The best is when someone tries to gritty, it just always looks different. So I commend them for at least trying.
Of course, every girl has their goal celebration song. So, right, you know ahead. You do plan these things ahead of time. Chesick, whose brother Kyle plays lacrosse at Bellarmine. And she was really good in the draw circle against Coastal earlier this year. She's moved out of that role today, and oh wow, a lot of contact. Wilkes scoops up the ground ball control. And then an offside? Nope, just kidding. An inadvertent whistle on the wrong team. We've seen a lot of those today.
That's about right.
Offside on Quinnipiac, that makes more sense. It's like, how is the attacking team on the offside? Anyway. I thought
this draw circle combo has been great today. 9 draw controls on the game. They've been giving them a lot more offensive possessions than Quinnipiac.
Pirates taking control since the end of the first quarter. It was 3-3. Leah Bestany rips one, and a nice save for Alden Tourney. Here's where the clears are going to be important. That's an area Quinnipiac's been really good this year. And now a penalty, a 1-minute green card. So an illegal slash that gives an advantage to Quinnipiac. There's a good feed inside and a nice shoulder side goal for Kendall Lee, beating the keeper.
That was great inside stick work there. And the Pirates, I thought they were going to be a little late on the slide and cause a shooting space, but fortunately it didn't look like anyone slid. On the open spot right there, and actually it looked like Magazine was a little late on the slide.
Back-to-back possessions with goals for Quinnipiac. And Kendall Lee, not a big part of the scoring department, just her 6th, but that's what was so impressive coming in. 5 players, 10 or more goals. We haven't seen a lot of that today. But a good smile there for Kendall with her first goal of the day. Whoa. It's a false start on the Pirates. So Quinnipiac wins possession.
And again, that draws another thing that the Bobcats have also tried to adjust to as well, with Ella Grace being that primary draw taker.
Yeah, she's in street clothes now for Quinnipiac. Exited after the first quarter. Good drive for Abby Wise. Swings it up top. The Quinnipiac team off to their best start in 15 years, but struggling here on the road in Greenville, North Carolina. Wise being marked well by Maeve Kerwin, and then beats her glove side for the goal.
And in that crease roll, that's what you have to do. You need to be aggressive. You need to look at the cage first before you score, and that's what Abby Wise does phenomenally. So a little bit of life here with Abby Wise getting that inside roll over the top side. It didn't look like Bihar could judge that one.
It's a tough angle to defend, too. Really nice shot. And a timeout for East Carolina. We showed you earlier all the road traveled for East Carolina, but here's what's been cooking. An opening win at Queens to start the year for second-year coach Brittany Dipper. Now, one thing we've been working on, talking to this staff, two losses by 1 goal and trying to close games out. They sit now in a good spot, up 6 late in the third. A Pirate team that gears up for AAC play next week. She said we need to execute better on defense. That was a huge talking point. Great second quarter in that department. But we have seen Quinnipiac found their rhythm a little bit late in this third.
And if you're the Pirates, you can't be comfortable. Although you got a 12-6 lead, that's nothing in lacrosse, especially with a fresh quarter to come.
The home opener finally here for East Carolina. They were rolling, up 10-3 at the break. But give Quinnipiac a lot of credit. Hanging tough. And those back-to-back goals forcing the timeout from Coach Dipper. Quinnipiac's won back-to-back face-offs, and that's fueled these 2 goals.
Yeah, Cohen has been doing a great job against McCarthy.
And another draw control win. That's scooped up by Anna Givens. Givens sprints ahead to the attacking end. It looks like the Bobcats have found their rhythm here in this second half.
If you're the Bobcats, I'd love to see Delmond and Wise work together. Both really good left hands. And that's a weak side for this ECU Pirate defense.
That bouncer gets through, and another goal for Givens. It's back to a 5-goal game. With how good Bihar had been in the first half, here's Quinnipiac finding some holes.
What a great hezzy up top. And the bounce at a perfect spot to get right through Bihar. A 3-0 run for these Bobcats.
One rated shift in this match. 4 straight draw controls for Quinnipiac, and that's led to a lot of possession.
One of the adjustments in the circle, McCarthy likes to pull to herself. And on the opposite side, Cohen is pushing. So now, with how they're set up,
Sophia Cohen's come in for the draws here for Quinnipiac's made a difference in this second half. 6 draw controls for Cone. And McCarthy wins that one. A 1-minute penalty leading to an ECU advantage.
once McCarthy gets that draw control, she is so solid at keeping it. Very physical and able to get body position, which draws green cards.
It's now 1 minute advantage. ECU could try to score on the power play here to end the third. We have a possession clock issue, getting that all settled. Okay, now we're ready to go. Good clearance to the attacking end for Grace Moore. Grace goes 1v1. The Pirates work it back around. Leah Bestany shifts it down low. And there's the shooting space. Kayla Wilkes on the doorstep of a hat trick. And lines it up with the freshman keeper, Sarah Alden.
The way she's set up, it looks like she's going to rip it. But usually she's a puller and likes to get up close.
Lets it fly, and there's the hat trick. 3 straight hat tricks for Kayla Wilkes.
How about the strong right hand wind up to bury this one?
It looks like her eyes played a factor because Alden gives up a middle shot there. She doesn't get beat on the post.
For sure. That's something that, to your point, you can see that she's looking far side.
And now a 6-goal lead. Nice response for East Carolina as Quinnipiac got right back into this. The power play is over, and now the rain's starting to pick up here in Greenville. With some friendly fire on the draw control traffic. Closing seconds of the third quarter. 2 seconds, 1 second. Nice save by Alden to end the threat. As the rain picks up, we're going to step aside for the fourth quarter here in Greenville. 6-goal difference. Quinnipiac making a run to end the third.
We call it drive. The unrelenting desire to become the person you were born to be. Ignited by a moment. The realization that a future you could only dream of is within reach. At East Carolina University, you won't just imagine a path. You'll forge one through hard work and the success that comes without surrender. The journey that leads to your future. And this is where it begins.
There is only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can!
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, and we will. It's what separates us from the rest.
You believe it?
There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. Start of the fourth quarter. ECU up 6. It's been balanced scoring for the Pirates today. Mother Nature starts to play a factor with wind and rain picking up. Right now, though, if you're ECU, 2 players with hat tricks to tell the story that first half.
And now with this rain coming, as a lacrosse player, this is kind of your worst nightmare because you can't really control the uncontrollables, and that is the leathers on your stick. You got to make sure those are in check at all times and keep them legal at all times because the stick is checked after every goal. And with the rain, it stretches out the leather and can deepen your pocket.
Marissa, the Pirates superfan here, reminding everyone that even in wet weather, there's no quarter given. Quinnipiac wins the opening draw of this fourth quarter. Bobcats did a much better job in the second half, earning possession. Thanks largely to Sophia Cohn.
And as if we haven't seen a bit of sloppy play out there already due to the wind, you're going to see way more because of the rain.
Quinnipiac, 4 third-quarter goals, including from Givens, who has it now. She had a couple of those in the third. Delmont behind the cage.
And Delmont, a true lefty. The Pirates have not let her use that left hand and have kept her uncomfortable for the majority of this game.
Good, Macy.
Great defending. Possession clock inside of 30. No space for Peyton Choma. Mary Haig swings it. An easy glove save for Bihar. She's got 10.
And that's the 1v1 defense that Coach Dipper was talking about. Keep them out of the 8 as much as you can and force tough shots like that.
Bihar in pursuit of her second win of the year, third career victory. Her glove work's been great today. And a goal here might put this game out of reach. Up 7, about 13 to go. Good control from Wilkes. Do you start working clock if you're East Carolina at this point?
I would. I definitely would. There was no point in giving Quinnipiac a chance to come back in this game.
Because to your point, the running clock situation probably won't happen at this point. So you're more worried about burning time than scoring quickly. Sclafani goes 1v1. Dangerous pass, and what a finish. Aaron Golden on the give and go. That was a fantastic feed, setting up the senior striker.
Aaron Golden doing Aaron Golden things, finding some sort of spot inside. I don't know how she did that, and I don't know how that got passed in. But what a great find, and even better stick work to finish that.
A timeout for Quinnipiac, and we're going to stay here. East Carolina's first home match. What have you thought about their offensive performance so far?
It's been composed, it's been focused, and it's been confident. I think there's no hesitation on the offensive end, especially on the fast break. That has been a key for them. And that's what allows a lot of spread out play.
Golden, one of the top goal scorers last year, 45 total points. Obviously with Kayla Wilkes taking the bulk of the attacking duties, but for Golden to get her goal scoring going, that's important today.
And she's just a leader on that offense. And last year, she actually had the most points, 5th in program history for a season. So Golden is a solid player on that offensive end. And with Wilkes to complement, that opens everything up.
An early timeout for Jordan Christopher, her team knowing that 1 or 2 possessions away from this game getting out of hand. Looks like outdoor sport weather to me. Windy, wet, and ready to roll. And now we're set to play out of this timeout. Okay, that's a spot to watch the match. Who needs free tickets when you can watch from outside the fence? Keep the tailgating going. That's a dedicated tailgater, I'll tell you what. 7-goal lead for the Pirates. Quinnipiac wins the draw control. And that conditions start to get real tricky here.
And Quinnipiac has the luxury of playing on turf, so grass is a little frustrating to play, especially in rainy conditions.
That was the most northeastern thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah, grass lacrosse fields is definitely something I got to get used to.
Yeah, turf down here in North Carolina is considered.
That's what I've heard.
Good news, the field's holding up really well today, even with all this wind and rain. There's a loose scrum, a ground ball pickup for the Pirates, at least for the moment. It's going to be hard to hang on to possession in this fourth quarter. Goes back to Quinnipiac.
And Ray makes ground balls difficult too. Obviously, that ball is going to be sputtering out of control, but your stick is slippery, so you gotta have your hands choked up even more.
Here's a loose battle. Stays back in. Possession clock to 8. ECU tight defense. Behind the back, and what a finish. Fantastic from Kendall Lee. Hold on. Did Lee enter the crease?
They might consider a dangerous shot, it looks like.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Not sure.
No goal. And in fact, a penalty.
Yep. Called a danger shot on that.
Is it on the shot? Is it on the stick away from the ball?
So after the play, it looked like a Pirate defender fell. So right here, it looked like...
Oh, because the stick...
Yes, because like I mentioned, hold your head.
I understand the rule. I don't like the interpretation.
Right.
Because the defender runs into the attacking player.
If anything, that was a botched shooting space. I think that should have been a shooting space because at the end of the day, the offensive player always...
As she's mid-shot.
Yep.
Right?
Offensive players should always get priority. I think a call like that should be a shooting space, especially with the late slide, so you're almost awarding the defender here.
Looks like the officials are checking this to confirm.
Yeah, the follow-through did hit her head.
And it's been upgraded to a yellow card, so a 2-minute slash, illegal shot, or dangerous shot to be more specific. I don't like that ruling.
I don't like it.
I understand it, but I don't like it.
I don't like it because instances like that, you're awarding a late slide on the defense.
And more importantly to these referees, we have rain and wind coming, so the faster we can make decisions and expedite this game, I think the better everyone involved here on ESPN Plus would enjoy it. Mother Nature is ticking. Lindsay Smart, a lot of explanations from her today. Now we're set to go. Bad pass. Quinnipiac picks it up. Weaving through a triple team. Nice work from Maggie Kennedy. Oh, Maggie's just going to keep going.
Unfortunately for this Quinnipiac offense, they got to get things going like they did just now. They have no time to waste, so fast breaks.
Yeah, Abby Wise right there with the goal.
Fast breaks are key right now. It started with the press break here, but an Abby Wise finish. Get the Bobcats back on board. 14-9 here. Big boost of momentum for this offense.
Good performance from Abby Wise, who's one of the best dishers of the rock in lacrosse. Today she's got her goal scoring going. 2 goals in the second half. ECU wins the draw. That's been a big reason they've been unable to work clock as well. Quinnipiac so good at winning the controls in the second half. They knocked that one loose for a Pirate turnover.
It's unlucky. The draw controls have been so solid. McCarthy with her 4th one of the game. But turnovers like that, especially this point in the game, you don't want to be committing those.
The speed of Maggie Kennedy gets in the attacking third. And now ECU had too many players on the defensive end, so that's a 1-minute penalty. And if you're Coach Dipper, you want to see better fourth quarter execution here.
It looked like defensive 3 seconds inside.
For a non-marking defender, correct?
Yes.
You have to be within a certain stick length of an attacking player.
Yep. Yep.
Sets up a shooting space here for Quinnipiac. Been a busy second half for Abby Wise. Wise has saved that time. Good work for Bihar. Bihar's got to be smart here. Good pass out of traffic, finding Rachel Chezik. And if you see, these clearances in the fourth quarter have not been clean.
They are looking a little scary here. Looks like Coach Dipper is going to take a moment to reassess.
Timeout for East Carolina. What's the game plan? What's the thought process here during this timeout?
Pirates, of course, you want to waste as much time as you can and use at least the last 1 or 2 minutes to get a shot on net. But the Bobcats, you got to score at will at this point. They've been doing a great job, especially on the fast break, with this slow Pirate defense unable to set up and making them pay.
Here's what's coming up for Quinnipiac. They'll take on a traditionally ranked foe in Fairfield at the start of April, but nothing comes easy in the MAC starting this week. Including new MAC foe, Merrimack, who's joined in lacrosse, coming up in early April. Meanwhile, the Pirates dive into American Conference play and a ranked matchup with Duke. Wow, that's a difficult schedule. Duke and Clemson in the next 3 weeks. New foe, South Florida. It's already won its conference opener. And a lot of road games coming up for ECU in the next 3 weeks.
As if there weren't enough already.
Yeah, Brittany Dipper's club trying to close out this home matchup, get a home opening win. It's not been easy so far. Even our priest in attendance. I don't know if that's good voodoo, bad voodoo, Catholic voodoo.
All I know is that he's got some...
A pirate and a priest walk into a stadium.
He's got some rain gear on, that's for sure.
Happy St. Patrick's Day coming up next week. Hopefully that's the wine of Jesus Christ himself in that mug for our priest. Clock starts on the restart after the timeout, nearing the 9-minute mark. Again, time is more the friend of the Pirates than getting open looks.
And you could tell they were wide open down low in the crease, but they're not even looking at the goal right now, nor should they be.
Wilkes wants a shooting space. The Pirates closest to it. Good cut off the ball. Bestany is saved. But again, though, that's a quick possession. There were 50 seconds left on the clock.
Even still, at least 20 seconds left on that clock. You got to look at the goal. I don't think that was smart on the Pirates' part.
Then the good transition play for Quinnipiac into the attacking end. Kendall Van Meeren, the freshman. So much this offense is run through Abby Wise today. Wise off the screen, a bad pass and a turnover.
And that's what rain will do to your stick.
Wind and gusting rains all across the state. Works this pass ahead. And now the Pirates can work some clock. So once you get in that 7-goal, 7-minute mark, that becomes really difficult.
I don't know if it's just me, but it still looks like the Pirates are trying to score in the beginning of this clock. But they are whipping it around, which is a good sign if you're Coach Dipper.
Sclafani has it now. She's earned a lot of work today behind the cage. That pass, dangerous. And with 30 seconds on the possession clock, it seems like a forced opportunity.
Their 11th turnover of the game here. And this is the time where you do not want to be committing any turnovers, on offense especially.
Easy work into the attacking end for Quinnipiac. Good stick work defensively. And that hits the side of the cage, just goes wide. Into the netting, and the clock begins to play a factor for ECU. At what point in the clock do you want to start attacking? Oh, there's a bad turnover for the Pirates.
For the Pirates, I'd say at least when you hit the 20-second mark, that's when you could set something up.
Wise, 1v1, forces his shot wide, and there's a turnover. Wise wanted a foul.
You know, these Pirates are lucky. That's 3 Bobcat possessions, and unfortunately they have not turned into goals for the Bobcats. Any other team, you do not want to be giving up just 3 empty possessions caused by turnovers.
And that's 3 minutes of time, essentially, if not more. Good pass to get into the attacking end. You even hear the parents sitting in front of us trying to coach him up from the sidelines here.
Looks like a little bit of a taxi now.
As a defense, how do you speed up an attacking team when you are down 6?
I would force a double. Soon you're probably going to see within the next 2 minutes they're going to pull the goalie.
And Rachel Chesick adds to the goal scoring. The Pirates now up 7.
But the Bobcats, you're in this position where you're desperate to get the ball back. They're going to pull the goalie. They're going to get an extra defender on the field and send a double.
That leads to our final media timeout. A good start here in Greenville. Home opener for the Pirates. And they're rolling here on ESPN+. Welcome back to a wet and windy Greenville, North Carolina. Final 5 minutes of this home opener for the East Carolina Pirates. The good news would beat the weather. The bad news, the folks in attendance will have to battle it out in these next couple of minutes. Well dressed for the occasion, though.
At least the fans have hoods. I remember playing in rain. This was my least favorite. And of course the Pope coming in the most prepared out of everyone. He's just vibing out.
St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. I don't know if he actually is a reverend, if he is a priest, or he just has a great outfit.
That would make it even better if he was.
That's a $1 million question.
But as I was saying, I remember playing in rain. This is the most uncomfortable conditions everything sticking to your body. Your leathers are just really out of whack on your stick. So
A
this is gonna be
false
tough.
start for the Pirates. And now Quinnipiac wins possession. Quinnipiac now dead even in the draws. They've done a much better job in the second half there, too. Good work from Bihar, intercepting that pass. Now
Bihar
she
is
needs
such
some
a-
help. Oh, boy.
She's
Risky
a
pass.
gutsy player is what I was just going to say, and a pass like that is pretty gutsy.
Maeve Kerwin gives it away, and a bouncing goal. Quinnipiac taking advantage of another Pirate mistake.
Again, it's those careless turnovers. And I was saying that Bihar was a gutsy player, a little too gutsy. You do not want to be crossing your own half on the clear because of this exact reason. And Mia Delmond making them pay off the stick check. Beautiful stick check, by the way.
Yeah, Delmond then dodges another defender to get the wide open shot. A lot of credit there to Mia Delmond stepping up. But if you're ECU, you got to clean up these turnovers.
Absolutely. Especially on the clear. That's the most sensitive zone in your offense because that's where it all starts.
14 turnovers. A draw control win for Quinnipiac. Earning a shooting space.
If you're Coach Dipper, if this one goes in, it makes you wonder if she calls another timeout to reassess things.
Delmond goes low, misses wide, and a turnover. Wise was ruled not closest to that shot.
I was gonna say it looked like Wise had perfect positioning on that.
ECU playing with a little bit of fire here in this second half, hanging on a possession. Wilkes runs away from a double, and now the Pirates can work the clock. Don't worry about openings. Play the clock here. The quick stoppage in play.
I know it looks like they have the shot. I would pull this out.
Yeah, free position look for Wilkes.
There you go.
Smart
play.
decision. A kick save.
And there's a minute on the shot clock.
And ECU's closest to it. Yeah, there's some clock management conversation that might be coming up this week.
You can hear it from the fans yelling, "Take your time."
Bestany gets inside and scores. And the lead up to 7. That might wrap it up here in Greenville.
And at this point, like we said, draining the clock, but a goal is not bad once in a while, you know? And a beautiful stutter step up top for Bestany. Switch her hands to finish that righty. And like you said before, the goal songs are the best part. I love it.
Well, how about the balance of this scoring now? Bestany 4, Chesick 4, Wilkes 3. And a quality second half of scoring as well.
This is a high-scoring lacrosse game, and of course, too, Quinnipiac just came off a 16-13 loss, so getting 16 out of East Carolina, too. There's no surprise here.
On a wet, windy day here in Greenville. Home opener. And ECU wins possession. Now it's about working clock, working clock. Wilkes wants a shooting space, and there's the delayed penalty. I guess take me through the attacking mindset here. I know you want to draw the shooting space, but why not just back it out and work the clock?
So I was looking at what Coach Dipper is telling Wilkes, and it doesn't look like she has a problem with what they're doing right now. I guess if you have an open lane, take it, but you got to work pretty hard to get a shot off when you need to be in a taxi.
Here's a pass. That shot rolls wide. Pirates closest to it.
But to your point, I do not agree with the offensive scheme right now. I think you should really just finish this game out.
And I understand you don't want to milk every second of the clock, but there's a balance of being quick but then hanging on to possession.
Right. For instance, right now, there is a minute on the shot clock.
That ball bounces off the top of the post, doesn't go in. And a chance to reset. Clock did reset to 60, so everyone can take a step back, settle into the attack.
Look at this rain whipping now.
Wow, that wind, yeah. And all the more reason to not try to force possession here. Oh, man. Speaking of forced possession, that one sneaks through. And Leah Bestany adds on 5 goals for her today.
Just can't stop scoring. Look at this reverse catch by Bestany to finish it. It looked like Sheldon, unfortunately, or excuse me, Alden helped bring that in a little bit off her backside. But Bestany having a great outing.
Tying her career high of 5 goals. And a breakout effort in the seniors campaign.
And going 50%, she did 10 shots on goal today. That's really solid. Coach Dipper has mentioned time and time again that she's the anchor on offense, and she's showing it here today in the home opener.
A draw control win for the Bobcats. Down 8, we saw some good second half effort from Quinnipiac, but it won't be enough today. Delmon can't squeeze it. There's a good save for Behar. Double-figure saves today.
Vendowski, that was only her 4th shot of the game.
Wilkes can work out almost every second of this clock and secure a home opening win for the Pirates. And with a cutter in front, there's a penalty on the illegal stick to the face. The ECU have a man advantage, and now the clock resets. They can essentially run out the clock here.
They should. Will they is the question. But now shot clock is off. If all things go smoothly, this will be expired.
East Carolina's 7-goal second quarter put this game out of reach, and they've done a nice job closing things out in the 4th. Although that turnover will extend the match. Delmon goes middle. That shot tipped wide, and it stays here. Final minute of this 4th quarter on a wind-blistering Sunday in Greenville. And that caused turnovers, should secure things in Greenville. ECU back at home for the first time in a month. They're about to win this one wire to wire.
And a much needed win for this team. Haven't had a win in a while since Queens.
Leah Bestany ties her career best with 5 goals. And that final whistle wraps up a home opening win for the ECU Pirates. Nice balance, 3 hat trick for Coach Brittany Dipper, and her program returns home to an impressive win.
What a great outing, especially for the Pirate offense. 37 shots and 17 buried in the back of the cage.
Thanks for joining us on ESPN Plus for this home opener of lacrosse. American Athletic Play begins this week. Conference play off and running. For Gabby Sartori and our talented crew of EvanBudrovich, ECU led by balanced scoring. 8-goal victory in the home opener. And we beat Mother Nature. Everyone goes home happy on ESPN Plus. We'll see you next time from Greenville, North Carolina.